And I think, at least for me, a good way to celebrate my 4th of July would be to purchase another firearm. But they need some Texas straight talk in New York because they're having all these gun buyback programs, and they're getting a measly 30 firearms or so, which I guess may be a good sign. Maybe people are holding on to their firearms. A New York gun buyback scheme turned into a complete flop after it was protested by a Second Amendment activist group and netted just 30 firearms in total, some of which were broken BB guns. The Second Amendment activists were on scene to inform residents that they could instead sell their guns to a licensed FFL dealer in return for fair value cash, and that the weapons would remain in circulation. So basically what happens, a lot of times these people go to these gun buyback things and they turn in their grandpa's antique firearms, or maybe their dad died and they left them a nice assortment of hunting rifles. They go turn them in to the sheriff's department, whoever's hosting the gun buyback, and they get a little $30 Walmart gift card. Meanwhile, the gun may be worth several $1,000s in some cases. And for all you people out there, I can't speak so much to New York, but in Arizona, if you turn in a gun to a gun buyback program, they resell your gun. So you turn it into the police station or the sheriff or whoever, and you expect them, I guess, to destroy the gun or block it up. I'm not sure what people think happened to these things. But no, they're going to turn around and sell it, at least in Arizona. So be wary of that, that if your guns can be resold anyway, you might as well sell it to the FFL, who will give you a decent price for it. Blackwater threatened to kill State Department official in Iraq. An internal State Department memorandum featured by the New York Times Monday reveals how the investigator, John C. Richter, alerted his superiors following the incident, only 2 weeks before Blackwater mercenaries shot and killed 17 Iraqi civilians. According to Richter, a diplomatic security special agent, Baghdad's Blackwater project manager, Daniel Carroll, threatened to kill him at the end of a month-long investigation. So this just goes to show the things that can happen, the unaccountability when you have these private mercenaries. And that's by no means saying that our current military is blameless. They definitely are not that. But when you get these private contractors to come in there, they can pretty much do whatever they want. And that's even what the guy's saying here is like, hey, he's like, hey, I'll kill you in this desert and nobody's ever going to find out about it, or we'll shoot you and just say you got shot by some insurgent. So these are the type of things you have to worry about with these private contractors, and these guys are becoming more and more prevalent. And all they do is they change their name and they just keep going on about their business. And speaking about changing names, Saudi and CIA terror army declares caliphate on Ramadan. The Islamic State of Iraq and al-Sham, ISIS, the terror army supported by Saudi Arabia, the CIA, and trained by the Pentagon, has declared a caliphate in the Middle East. It has changed its name to the Islamic State, or the Islamic State, dispensing with Iraq, Sham, and the Levant. The announcement was made on the first day of Ramadan, the Muslim holy day. And basically they go on to say that all Muslims need to pay their allegiance to them, get down with us, get down or lay down kind of deal. So you have these terror groups running around, and the photo that's on Infowars.com shows a map that they released this past weekend saying that we're going to control all of that. And yeah, good luck with all that, you CIA-funded terror groups. So we'll end tonight with this. Professor body slammed by cop for refusing to show ID.
Let me see your ID, or you will be arrested for failing to provide ID.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. That is the law.
The ASU officer says Orr repeatedly refused orders, and as he attempts to handcuff her, the struggle intensifies.
Stop fighting me and put your hand behind
Get up! Stop touching me!
Put your hand.
Stop!
Put your hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back.
Stop! Professor Orr, wearing a dress, is left exposed while on the ground.
And this is what the police state looks like. This is not some fictitious thing that's coming down the road 20 years from now. It's very much alive and well in the United States of America today, because these are not isolated incidents. This happened in Arizona. This has happened in Austin, Texas. It also happened in New York. And these are just the things that we know about. I'm sure it happens more often than this. People jaywalking, people not obeying the traffic control devices. They get handcuffed, thrown to the ground, and it's just a normal day because this officer felt disrespected. This is what happens in this country. This is what they do with their police resources. And I always have to put the disclaimer out there. There are plenty good police, military, but it's guys like this that just make you look bad. So this is what they do with their resources. But here at Infowars.com, we try to bring you the best with our resources. That's why you need to go to prisonplanet.tv, get yourself a 15-day free trial. You get the Alex Jones Show, the nightly news, the special reports, the rants, and so much more at prisonplanet.tv.
The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding, making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
The brainwashing media machine has been turned up on high, and it's time for humanity to double down on the true people's media and strike back against the tyrants that are destroying our civilization with their lies and fraud. We are the resistance. You are the resistance. You are the info war. It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv.